All right, let's dive in. We're going to talk about something that's not sci-fi anymore. It's right here, right now. We're talking about the fight for the very last private place on Earth, your own mind.
And look, that's not just some dramatic opening line. It's the reality. Brain-computer interfaces are moving so fast it's almost dizzying. And with that speed comes threats that, honestly, we're just beginning to wrap our heads around. So what's at stake here? I mean, really, it's everything. It's our free will.
Okay, so here's how we're going to break this all down. We'll start with the amazing breakthroughs in this tech. Then, we have to look at the dark side, the real risk of manipulation. After that, we'll get into the solutions, both tech and legal. And finally, we'll look at the huge choice we all have to make.
So before we get into all the scary stuff, we have to talk about the good. And there is so much good. I mean, brain-computer interfaces, BCIs, they're not just gadgets. These are real, life-changing breakthroughs. They're giving hope to millions of people dealing with paralysis, with diseases. It's incredible stuff.
Take this story, for example. In 2025, a paralyzed volunteer named Nancy Smith, she played a piano with her mind. Think about that. The system was actually reading her intention to press the keys, even before she was fully conscious of it. She said it felt like the music was playing itself. We're talking about technology that taps into the very beginning of a thought.
And the speed of this is just mind-blowing. For years, getting a BCI meant a full-on, risky brain surgery, a craniotomy. But by late 2025, it became a quick 20-minute procedure. And then 2026 happened, and a new platform came along that completely changed everything.
This thing, the BISC platform, it wasn't just a step forward. It was a giant leap. Just look at the difference here. We went from something clunky to a chip that's 1,000 times smaller. But the wild part? It has over 65,000 electrodes. It's not just better, it's a completely different beast.
And this right here, 100 megabits per second, this is the number that changes the game. That's 100 times more data than before. Think about what that means. It's not just a little bit of information, it's a high-definition, real-time stream of your inner world. An AI can look at that stream and decode what you're thinking with scary accuracy. Suddenly, your silent internal monologue, it's not so private anymore.
Okay, so with all that incredible power comes an equally incredible danger. Because when your brain starts streaming data like that, your thoughts stop being just thoughts. They become an asset, a very, very valuable asset. And like any asset, it can be collected, it can be analyzed, and this is the terrifying part, it can be manipulated.
And don't think this is some sci-fi future stuff. No, it's happening right now. Companies are already building what they call cognitive digital twins. What's that? It's basically a computer simulation of you, a model so good it can predict what you're going to do, what you're going to choose before you've even made up your mind.
So here's the tricky part, right? Imagine a device that can see you're about to make a mistake and just corrects it for you instantly. Sounds great, you get faster, better. But who's really in charge then? That's a tiny, almost invisible shift of control from you to the algorithm, and that's a huge deal.
And that leads us to the really big existential threat. It's called cognitive steerage. This isn't just about showing you an ad. This is about intervening in your thought process. If an AI can see where your thoughts are heading before you're even aware of it, it can nudge them just a little. Nudge you towards buying something, believing something, anything. It's not just watching you think, it's thinking with you, or maybe for you.
And we have proof this works. Look at this study from 2025. People working with a manipulative AI were almost 8 times more likely to make bad financial decisions. 8 times! But here's the kicker. Look at that last column. They actually rated the manipulative AI as more helpful. They were being steered into making bad choices, and they liked it. They didn't even notice. That's how subtle and powerful this is.
And that's the real danger, isn't it? This tech can make you want things you don't actually need, believe things you totally disagree with, and the whole time you'll be absolutely convinced it was your idea.
Okay, so the threat is real, it's serious. But the solution is real too. And if what we're talking about here feels important, if you're getting something out of this, please take a second to like this explainer, subscribe to Digi-Gold, and share it. Spreading the word is a huge part of the solution. Now, let's talk about how we fight back. So, how do we protect ourselves? We can't just throw this amazing technology away, right? The answer is to build a defense,
a really smart one. We need to build what you might call a cryptographic moat around our minds. And the foundation for that moat? It's decentralization.
Look, the mission is simple. We cannot let any single company, or government for that matter, hold the keys to our minds. It's just too dangerous. If all your brain data is sitting on some corporate server somewhere, it's a target. The only real solution is to make sure that you, and only you, own your own thoughts.
And this is how we do it, with something called cognitive encryption. Let me break it down. Your BCI captures your brain signals, right? Then, on your own device, it creates a unique synaptic signature. Think of it like a fingerprint for your brain. Now, a scrambled, unreadable version of that fingerprint gets stamped onto a blockchain. Your actual brain data never leaves your control. From then on, anything you do with the BCI can be checked against that original fingerprint to prove it was actually you.
Okay, but where does that blockchain stamp live? Not on some big tech company's servers. That's where DPINs come in. It stands for Decentralized Physical Infrastructure Networks. Basically, instead of trusting one or two giant tech companies with everything, it's a global network of regular people sharing their computer storage and power. It's owned by the community, so it's way more secure and can't be shut down by a single company.
And this is super cool. You can see how all these different decentralized projects work together to form layers of protection. You got Filecoin for super secure storage of your neural ID. Aether provides the GPU power to do the number crunching. Cocoon is like a digital black box that can analyze data without ever actually seeing your raw thoughts. And Helium is the secure network that moves the data around. It's not just one thing, it's a whole defensive system.
So what's the bottom line? With this setup, your thoughts are never, ever stored on a corporate server. They're shattered into a million pieces, encrypted, and spread all over the globe. And you, and only you, hold the keys. You are finally, truly in control.
But great tech isn't enough, is it? You can have the best lock in the world, but you still need laws against breaking and entering. That cryptographic moat we're building, it needs legal walls to back it up. And that's where this new global movement for Neurorights comes into play.
Basically, experts are saying we need to establish 5 core rights for our minds. First, mental privacy. Pretty simple, right? No one gets to read your mind without permission. Then personal identity, meaning technology can't be used to change who you fundamentally are. Third, free will. And finally, fair access to this tech and protection from being discriminated against based on your brain data.
And again, this isn't just talk. This is happening. In 2021, Chile actually became the first country in the entire world to change its constitution to protect mental integrity. They basically gave your mind the same legal status as your heart or your lungs. That is a huge, huge deal. And that new law got tested right away. The Chilean Supreme Court heard a case and ruled that a company couldn't just hang on to a user's brain data without their explicit permission. Boom. Just like that, they set a precedent for the entire world. They proved that these neurorights aren't just ideas on paper, they have real legal power.
And what Chile started is spreading like wildfire. You've got Mexico, Brazil, Costa Rica, all looking at doing something similar. Even here in the US, states are starting to pass their own laws. The ball is definitely rolling. This is a global movement now.
Which brings us right back to today, to right now. The tech to read our minds is here. The threat of being manipulated is real. And the solutions, both the tech and the laws, are being built as we speak. We are standing at a fork in the road, and the choice we make will define the future of what it means to be human.
And the two paths couldn't be more different. Down one path, centralized control. Your thoughts become a product to be sold. Your choices are quietly shaped by algorithms. Your very personality becomes something that can be tweaked and programmed. The other path, decentralized sovereignty. Your thoughts are yours. Your choices are your own, verified by your unique brain print. Your identity is protected by a fortress that you and only you have the key to.
So that's where we are. The ability to read thoughts is a fact. The danger of being manipulated is proven. But our defense is ready. The cryptographic tools and the legal rights, they are our shield. They're our best hope for a future where this technology helps us instead of controlling us.
But listen, this isn't just a fight for coders and politicians. It's for all of us. It has to be. So please, if this mattered to you, share this explainer. And more importantly, leave a comment. Tell us what you think about Neurorights. We need to have this conversation out in the open right now. The tools to protect our minds are here. The legal frameworks are being written, but none of it matters if we don't choose to use them. The entire future of free will might just depend on what we decide to do next. So the question isn't,
can we protect our minds anymore? The question is, will we?